Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. All right, so yesterday I did talk a little bit about Jeremy Allaire and that new collaboration between Circle Nubank, a Ripple partner, and we've heard Jeremy Allaire, say in the past that Circle could really benefit from using quote unquote Brad's company, meaning Ripple, to facilitate, a lot of the payments that are just going to be mounting in the near future. So, if you guys didn't see that video, I will link it up here. I just wanted to add this little tidbit here from Chad Steingraber, a single day shift in narrative where they're showing up on TV and calling crypto digital commodities. Guys, this is another one from Jeremy Allaire, courtesy of Squawk Box here. Digital commodities are here to stay. He was doing the rounds a couple of days ago, guys. This is what he had to say on Tuesday. Listen to this.
And so when you see,
beauty.
The beauty.
That's one way of putting it.
To the extent that we should be looking at Bitcoin as a barometer of risk on, risk off, if you think of it as a speculative asset, I don't know what you think of it as anymore, but we show it on the screen every single day because there's a lot of ownership of it around the world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interest in it around the world.
Yeah.
What do you think it's an indicator of?
Sure. So a couple things. So the first is digital commodities are here to stay. And that's just, we have this new thing, digital commodities, they're here to stay. And they will be valued differently. Gold is differently valued than oil, is differently valued than copper, right? So there will be these digital commodities. Bitcoin specifically is the sort of largest digital commodity asset. Right. And I think in the minds of many of the people who are investing in it, this is a risk hedge asset. Mm-hmm. It can be correlated to availability of money supply, but it also can be uncorrelated. So it doesn't fit every box clearly. And I think you're hearing from sovereigns, from the Ray Dalios of the world, the Larry Finks of the world, others that they believe that in a complex geopolitical environment, a complex macroeconomic environment, this is an asset that one should have some exposure.
But we should not think of it as a currency.
I
mean, by the way, you're more in the currency camp in terms of what you do.
Correct, yes. So digital dollars that can be a strong store of value medium of exchange that have all the powers of the internet. That's what dollar stablecoins do. Huge innovation. I expect to be explosive in terms of its growth in the coming years. Just a huge utility for dollars on the internet, huge appetite for dollars on the internet. That's a very big thing. And that's distinct from people who want a currency hedge, so to speak, or a store of value hedge against the world going to hell.
Talking a lot about Bitcoin here, but I think the biggest takeaway, digital commodities are here to stay, encompassing all crypto assets, well, the ones that are going to have value. So just another clip that I wanted to bring to you guys with regards to Jeremy Allaire, just kind of complimenting the video I did a couple of days ago, if you did not catch that. Now, Metaco, guys, did just post this. We know Metaco is now owned by Ripple, and they just congratulated a company called Rulematch for their successful launch of their interbank crypto trading venue, enabling banks and security services firms to trade cryptocurrencies at speeds unrivaled in the market today, leveraging tech from Metaco and the NASDAQ. Some Rulematch guys have brought us this update. Rulematch is serving banks and securities firms active in the crypto market. To give you guys just a sense of what they are doing, the Rulematch spot trading venue has begun trading Bitcoin and Ethereum versus USD or US dollar. Only banks and securities firms may become Rulematch participants. So for institutional grade trading, Rulematch is never a counterparty in trading on the venue. Integrated post-trade settlement significantly lowers costs for institutions, removing the need for pre-fund trades. So you can see how this is going to be running more smoothly than it has been in the past. Rulematch provides the market integrity, capital efficiency, and ultra-low latency that financial institutions have been missing. The venue uses NASDAQ technology for pre-trade risk checks, trade matching, and market surveillance. But not only that, guys, you can see here they are currently counting 7 banks and securities firms, including BBVA, which is a Ripple partner, Swiss Cantonal Bank, and DLT Finance as some of their initial participants. More financial institutions are in the process of joining the venue as well. So the other thing I wanted to mention was just down here. If you guys want to check this out, you can see all cryptocurrencies on Rulematch are handled in segregated blockchain wallets using the Metaco harmonized system. So they are integrated with Metaco, the institutional standard in custody technology, in combination with IBM Cloud HyperProtect crypto services. The industry's only encryption service based on a hardware security module certified, and then gives you guys the certification there. So some interesting news here, some more news with regards to this Ripple company now revealing their new partnership with this other company, Rulematch, to provide security service firms trading of cryptocurrencies at very, very high speeds, and they're using their partnership with IBM and NASDAQ as well. So thought that was interesting. Great news there coming from Metaco. We got Michael Branch also bringing this to our attention. Anodo's Finance embraces XRP for salaries and launches XRPL Validator. So paying their employees with XRP, guys. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to receive your salary in cryptocurrencies? Well, for the Anodo's finance team, this is not just a futuristic idea, it is their daily reality. And so this is spearheaded by Panos Mekras, co-founder and CFO of Anodo's Finance and XRPL project. They have revealed that their team is getting paid, their salaries are getting paid in XRP. And here is the tweet lifted from Twitter at Anodo's. We're not just dedicated to the XRPL ecosystem, we're also leveraging its remarkable benefits. Since our inception, we've prioritized by paying our team in XRP. By transitioning our company's payroll and payments to XRP, we're embracing lightning fast and low-cost transactions. So this coming from the Anodo's team. They did announce two crucial developments recently, the payment of salaries to its team in XRP and the launch of their first XRPL validator. Panos, the co-founder and CFO of Anodo's Finance, revealed that since its founding, this is what the company has been doing. They've highlighted the XRPL's efficient design, making it ideal for everyday payments and payroll, leveraging its fast, secure, and cost-effective transactions. This adoption underscores the practicality and efficiency of cryptocurrency payments in an area growing interest in the global digital economy. And I have a feeling, a lot more companies are going to be realizing, this is just a more efficient way. I mean, we're already seeing this with freelancers, people who, the gig economy, I guess, as they call it, being able to pay a freelancer quickly, almost immediately. I mean, technically, you could pay them within seconds of them finishing the job on the XRP ledger through XRP, leveraging XRP, and not even, it doesn't even have to be in XRP, but you can leverage the XRP to, pay them, technically any way you want. So great for companies like Uber or Airbnb, companies that do global business and need to pay out in different fiat currencies all the time. So just some more news here for a smaller XRPL related company. This one, Anodo's Finance, paying their employees in XRP, guys, and running an XRPL validator. Wanted to thank Michael Branch just for bringing that to our attention. Guys, I'm also noticing larger Ripple partner news. This one courtesy of Mike Manfield. The Central Bank of Colombia today announced that they are partnering with ACI Worldwide, which is a Ripple partner, the global leader in mission-critical real-time payment software. So what they're doing here, they're building a new domestic real-time payment ecosystem as part of a nationwide banking transformation project. So Colombia transforming their banking infrastructure, guys, and they're doing this with ACI, a Ripple partner. The central bank will utilize ACI's digital central infrastructure, part of the award-winning ACI Enterprise Payment Platform, to build the central infrastructure of an interoperable countrywide scheme that includes centralized settlement and addressing services for the existing real-time payment scheme. This project is set to go live in 2025, so 12 months until they go live. All current and future schemes will need to connect to the new real-time payment ecosystem to be built. So guys, here is a quote. We are excited about the real-time payment modernization journey we have embarked on jointly with ACI Worldwide. This coming from Leonardo Villar, governor of the Central Bank of Colombia. It will be the first payment scheme in Latin America that will be built through a collaboration consensus by all stakeholders in the payments ecosystem. Government, regulators, private banks, and the central bank have all been working together with the aim to bring the benefits of real-time payments and modernization to Colombian consumers and businesses. Another quote down here: with the state-of-the-art technology supplied by Ripple-enabled ACI Worldwide, we are in a strong position to drive the real-time and digital transformation of Colombia's payment ecosystem as part of our journey towards a modern, digital, and financially inclusive economy. So boom goes the dynamite. Another central bank here connected to RippleNet through this partnership too. Now, I'm not entirely sure if I believe Colombia was already connected to Ripple. Just doing some quick research here. You guys can see just scrolling down here, where was it? Central Peersys. Yeah, so this had to do with Colombia. We are excited to announce that Peersys and Ripple will start working with the Central Bank of Colombia, Banco República, through our partnership with Ministerio TIC. So Ripple already did have this partnership in the hopper back in June of 2023. And so I guess, just adding on to this, it only makes sense that they do use a Ripple-enabled company, in this case ACI Worldwide, to strengthen this partnership with not only the Central Bank of Colombia, but also the Colombian, payment infrastructure as a whole. So some great news here. Wanted to thank Mike Manfield for posting that. Also, guys, another great article here from Mike Manfield. Akbank and Grahanti BBVA, they are both Ripple partners. And so with regards to the Turkish banking system, this is what's happening. Turkey's banking giants go big on crypto as legislation looms. So again, just another country here where, they're talking about legislation and that clear framework that, we're inevitably going to be seeing all around the world. Turkey's government is gearing up to introduce new legislation for the crypto sector specifically. It is still unclear how restrictive the new laws might be, but it hasn't spooked adoption even at the institutional level. And so in this case, we're seeing the investment arm of Akbank. They just announced that they have acquired a local crypto firm, Stablex, with top official at AK Investment saying the group wanted to be a key player in the digital asset space. Also, we've got Garanti BBVA, another Ripple partner, Ripple partnered bank, BBVA. They've also launched their crypto wallet app the following day. The application has a cold wallet feature and allows users to send and receive assets like Bitcoin, USDC, and Ethereum. Turkey ranks among the top 20 countries in Chainalysis Global Crypto Adoption Index in 2023. The country also hosted the Ethereum conference DevConnect this past year. So we are seeing these other Ripple-related banks here, in this case in Turkey, leveraging their partnerships, deciding to go all in on crypto adoption. Of course, you're going to have those banks that want to be the first out of the gate because they want to kind of take that market share if it's there. And I mean, it's going to be there. In a lot of ways, the people of these countries are not going to have a choice. They're going to have to adopt this new technology, whether you like it or not. I mean, there's so many people now with smartphones, and the technology is just so good. It's just so much better than it was 15 years ago that, the banking sector, the transformation is going to be very, very easy for a lot of these, for everybody involved, for the end user, for the banks involved who need to implement the technologies. And so, if you're already a Ripple-enabled bank, BBVA and Akbank, just for sake of argument for this example, it's going to be a lot easier to integrate once you do finally make that move. Same with the Central Bank of Colombia and ACI Worldwide, already Ripple partners. So, the next steps are going to be pretty smooth, assuming. Anyway, wanted to thank Mike for posting that. Matthew LINY also bringing this to our attention, guys. Another Ripple partner, this time Airwallx. They have just partnered up with Woo and agreed to partner to power cross-border commerce for global merchants. So lots of Ripple partnerships that we're noticing within this last week. Interesting how we're hearing about more regulatory clarity globally. And we're also starting to see a lot of these Ripple partnerships sprout up. So this one, Airwallx and the company Woo agree on a partnership to power cross-border commerce for global merchants. This integration enables Woo merchants to accept cross-border payments within minutes by leveraging global cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and 60+ local payment methods at checkout, thereby opening up the potential to access shoppers from millions of Woo stores without the sting of high FX conversion rates. So here, another great example of having to convert fiat to another type of fiat, leveraging the XRP ledger through the Airwallx partnership. Here, Woo has said, beautiful stores, world-class products, gifts they'll remember forever. And, of course, they want to focus on the shiny, bright, shiny, fancy, not so much delve into the technology, the underlying XRPL technology behind the improvement here. Nevertheless, SVP of Strategic Partnerships, he did say, he's from Airwallx, he did say cross-border payment collection, or this cross-border payment collection rather, is an important part of the puzzle for merchants with global ambitions. But too often, inefficient cross-border payments are slowing down growth into new geographies. We're excited to partner with Woo, the #1 e-commerce platform serving millions of merchants globally, to tackle this problem at scale. By removing friction, reducing fees and delays associated with cross-border payments, we enhance the shopping experience and deepen shoppers' relationships with Woo and its merchants. So, when you have a streamlined experience when paying, that certainly makes things a lot better, does it not? We take it for granted in a lot of ways. But, it does make it, the last thing you want is something that you want to purchase online. And it's like, okay, where do I click now? How do I get to do I have to sign? Now I have to sign into my bank account. That sucks. Quite frankly, that's terrible. That makes for a bad experience. And so, these guys realize that. They want to make for a great experience. And especially when, this is kind of their first shot at it. They don't want to mess it up. This is crypto adoption on a global level. And, these companies like Airwallx, they've already been perfecting this type of payment workflow with Ripple for years now. So now we're seeing the benefits, the fruits of their labor really come out. And so great new partnership here involving Ripple partner Airwallx and Woo. So I wanted to thank Matt for posting that. Not only that, guys, because we are seeing this new transformation, we're also noticing these small inclinations that the world is going to run on Ripple sooner rather than later. To avoid further regulations, will Visa and Mastercard offer zero-fee transactions on certain products? So here we have two companies that have some kind of ties to Ripple. We've got Visa through Earthport. Recently, we did hear about a Mastercard connection as well in 2023. And so Matt just posted this from Reuters. UK payments regulator proposes a cap on Mastercard and Visa cross-border fees. Now, these guys can do this using RippleNet. I mean, the fees would be negligible, fractions of pennies. So, they make it sound like it's going to be big news. But realistically, is it big news? I mean, are these guys really going to lose on their bottom line? No, they're not, because if they're already Ripple enabled, I mean, they're already saving all that money. And so for them, it's like, okay, well, we'll let the people have what they want, which is very, very low fees. I mean, we don't want to charge an arm and a leg, as the big tier 1 banks in the US have kind of been fighting for. And so, this might be the way that it goes. Using blockchain technology, DLT running on RippleNet, they can do that easily. And so I don't necessarily want to get into this. I just wanted to bring you guys the headline because I thought it was important to note that these two companies, namely the two largest credit card companies on planet Earth, are looking to propose a cap, or rather UK payments are looking to propose a cap on their fees, their cross-border fees specifically. So that's where the friction is. Of course, RippleNet does solve for this. And of course, we do know that Visa and MasterCard both have ties to Ripple. So guys, all this is pointing to, I got to say, an exciting transformation in the landscape for finance. However, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, we get excited. I'm excited because the price of cryptocurrencies is rallying. Even though we're seeing a bit of a retracement right now, Bitcoin is still trying to edge its way up. We got the ETF news, which I talked about yesterday, and, the potential for a wall of money coming into the space. And if you guys didn't catch yesterday's video, I will link it up here. But guys, there's also this that's looming from David Webb, okay, courtesy of Laura Aboli on Twitter. David Webb is a former hedge fund manager and Wall Street insider, and he just blew the lid off a plan that central bankers have in place to take everything from everyone. So in coordination with the powers that be, those who control the money. He says it's a scheme of central bankers to subjugate humanity by taking all securities, bank deposits, and property financed with debt. Well, we know inflation is running rampant. And that we've talked about this controlled takedown, the Great Reset, of course, the WEF, all those nefarious plans. But he wraps it up here. I'm going to show you guys this video clip. The other thing I find interesting is something that he observed. A little freaky, a little strange, but it does point, unfortunately, to the fact that this economic collapse, the controlled demolition, is right on track. Listen to this.
I think that we're very close to this collapse being triggered. What are the indications for that? Well, most profoundly, what has been done to interest rates and where they are now, and the scale of the insolvencies that are out there. They're not being discussed. They're being covered up. The only way that the financial system has not collapsed is that there is a big hidden hand injecting lots of created money directly into the financial markets, holding them up right now, as well as allowing institutions to believe they have downside risk by buying protection in the derivatives market, the combination of those things. So this support, the hidden hand as I call it, can be withdrawn at the time of their choosing. But we're getting late in this process given what's already happened to the interest rates. The other indication of timing is the bank resolution, the documents of the Bank Resolution Authority in Europe. Their planning cycle documents were mandating all of the globally systemically important banks to be ready for solvent wind down at the end of last year, 2022. Now, what they mean by solvent wind down is not wind down of the entire bank on a solvent basis. It will be parts of the bank that will remain solvent. But they've literally mandated that they have to be ready, the biggest banks, to go flat on all of their derivatives positions in a controlled way suddenly. So they've prepared for that. That is operational as of the end of last year. Now, in this year's planning cycle document, they are saying that they are on track to have completed all their work by the end of this year, 2023. So these are indications. To give you another idea of the seriousness of this, they've been running these trilateral exercises with Britain and the EU and the US for 6 of the 7 past years. I think they may have missed a year during COVID, but in these exercises, from the US side, the participants are the US Treasury Secretary, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, the chairman of the FDIC, the heads of all these entities in this exercise, which I've never seen before with anything. So they're very, very serious about this. And these exercises are about assuring the cross-border transfer of the collateral when the banks are put into wind down.
Okay, that is disconcerting, especially if you guys caught that, what he was mentioning here in the middle of this video, the fact that all these banks, guys, check this out, all these banks have mandated this wind down, okay? EU unveils plans to wind down failed banks. I'm just going to scroll through this slowly. The SRB publishes solvent wind down guidance. So this is a mandated wind down guidance on solvent wind down. Here he says solvent wind down of trading books, and this was all published in 2022. Of course, this is a plan for the long term. But guys, they have mandated this. All these systemically important banks, as Webb says here, to be wound down, and not fully. So the bank is still going to be solvent, but there are important portions there. Derivatives going flat and winding down solvency by the end of 2023, maybe pushed into 2024. So what is that going to mean for all that money out there that has been being invested? Now, is it of any surprise that the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 have been rallying past new all-time highs? Well, the S&P has not, but the Dow Jones certainly has passed its all-time high. If you guys didn't catch the video I did yesterday, I do suggest you watch it. An interesting perspective here now. You coincide that with what happens when the internet shuts down? Not if, but when. Yeah, the WEF has come flat out and said this. I will link this in the description. I'm not going to read the article, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys where this plan seems to be coming from and who is already sounding the alarm, telling us in plain sight, so we can't look at them and be like, well, you never warned us. Ito Farina bringing this tweet to our attention. And I don't know, for my Canadian friends watching, do you remember the Rogers outage of 2022? Well, yeah, that happened for a day on July the 8th, 2022. And so this is just a report here, just, kind of discussing it a month later. And so some were saying that this was a test. The WEF and all the other powerful entities. I mean, I mentioned the WEF a lot, but, there are other entities involved in this. Central banks are involved, governments, guys. And now this video suggesting a solvency wind down. So is this the next step in the Great Reset? And I mean, coming out the other side, will we see massive XRP adoption, considering we are seeing all these Ripple-related partners now winding up. Yes, winding up adoption in the midst of all this. Central banks running on RippleNet, of course, guys. This is a new financial system that they want to usher in. But in the meantime, they want to take our wealth, keep your cryptocurrency safe and sound. Make sure you're holding it in some kind of cold wallet storage solution, because once this happens, we do not want to miss out on XRP price appreciation. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.